Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, that is Science Unlocked, and here we will going to continue with our discussion on digestion process in case of humans. So till now we have talked about the concept till stomach. So the next organ that we have in our list is the small intestine. Now small intestine is basically the longest part of the digestive system, or you can say the alimentary canal. But why it is called small intestine? Because it is less in radius. That means that the hollowness of that particular organ is comparatively small. That is why it is considered as small intestine. It is highly coiled inside the alimentary canal, and approximately it is 7.5 meters long. Now what is its importance? It actually helps in secretion of different set of intestinal juices, which will going to ultimately help in the digestion process and will going to accommodate some other enzymes as well. For example, we talk about the bile juices coming from liver and pancreatic juices coming from pancreas. Now these things are ultimately going to help in the digestion of the process altogether. So on the whole, we can say that if you talk about the function of small intestine, over here we will see that there are going to be different set of enzymes coming together, different kinds of digestive juices coming together from the intestinal wall as well as the associated glands, so that ultimately the whole digestion process can take place. So we can also say this thing, that at this particular place of the alimentary canal, we will observe the complete digestion of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. So let's understand about the different set of associated glands which will going to help us in the digestion of the rest of the components. Now the very first thing is that we have liver. Now liver is basically a reddish brown gland which is situated in the upper part of the abdomen, and it is the largest gland of the body. Now this secretes a secretion that is called as bile juice, or simply bile, which helps in the digestion of fats. So here we are encountering one component of our nutrition, that is fat. The next that we have is a storage pouch. This is called as gallbladder, which will going to store the bile juice secreted from the liver. Now what happens is, after this thing, we have the next component, that is pancreas. Now pancreas is basically the structure which will going to help in the secretion of pancreatic juices, which will going to collectively work in on digestion of carbohydrates as well as proteins. Now what happens is, altogether here we have seen that the carbohydrates, proteins as well as fats, they all are taking into consideration. On the other hand, we have the intestinal juices inside the small intestine, which will going to accompany the whole digestion process. And once the process is done, means the digestion is done, we will see that the proteins are converted into the smaller components, that is amino acids or amino acids. The fats are getting converted into fatty acids and glycerols, and on the other hand, the carbohydrate will be converted into simple sugars like glucose. Now the next part that we have is the process of absorption in case of small intestine. Now as we have discussed this thing, that it is the organ which will going to help in digestion as well as absorption. So here comes the part of absorption. Now for absorption process, the structure is actually having an additional structure in the lumen of the intestine, which are called as villi. These particular structures are going to enhance the overall process of absorption. These are actually the finger-like projections, finger-like structures which are coming towards the lumen of the small intestine, and what they are doing, they are actually increasing the surface area so that the absorption of food can take place properly. Now what exactly is the aspect in this villi structure? That is that this particular structure is accompanied with the help of blood vessels at the base, and these blood vessels will going to ultimately transport the digested food to the different set of structures in the body. So that is what exactly is the aspect of small intestine in terms of assimilation process, that over here the digested components of the body from the food that we have taken up, all those components will be taken up by the blood vessels which are inside these villi, and these blood vessels will be carrying the components of nutrition which are absorbed from the food to the rest of the body, and the body can ultimately utilize the uh, overall energy component of the food for the body. Now, once this whole process is done, we are left with the unabsorbed and undigested food that will be taken care by the large intestine. Now, as I've told you that this is large intestine, but this particular structure is not having the length in terms of, or in comparison of, small intestine. As we have discussed just right now, that small intestine is actually longer in length, but it is getting the name of small intestine because the radius is smaller. So over here the large intestine is lesser in length, that is approximately 1.5 meter length, but it is wider. The radius of the canal is bigger, that is why it is actually considered as large intestine. Now over here, what exactly is the function? That it will going to take care of the undigested food by making sure that it will going to absorb the water from the food and anything which can further be absorbed in case not absorbed by the small intestine, which is very rare. On the other hand, it will going to convert the undigested food into the semi-solid waste, which is called as feces or waste product, which will going to be stored inside the rectum, and then during the process of removal of this waste, that is the egestion process, what will happen, this semi-solid waste will going to ultimately be removed out of the body, and this is how the body gets rid of the undigested food. Now, one medical condition related with this particular organ is diarrhea, where what happens is that there is a increased frequency of removal of waste along with excess removal of water from the body, which is mainly observed in India in case of children. Now over here what happens is, it is not only the undigested food which is coming out of the body, it is also the water and some salts which are lost from the body, which can be caused because of multiple factors like indigestion, some sort of infection in the body, and food poisoning as well. Now the best way out for taking care of this kind of a condition, because it can be a deadly condition, so we need to make sure that we should have a proper treatment for this thing, which is the ORS solution, which talks about keeping in check the lost nutrients, or we can say the lost electrolytes of the body, along with the wastage of water or removal of excessive water during this condition of diarrhea. Now last but not the least is, we are moving towards the aspect of grass eating organisms, that means the ruminants. Now ruminants are basically the organisms which are majorly going to eat the grass or herbs, and they are considered as ruminants because they have a specific structure in their body, in the digestive system, which is a specific bag like structure called rumen. Now this rumen is going to help in the digestion of these green plants, which the human body generally doesn't have. That is why even if we are taking the raw vegetables, that quantity will going to be less, and on the other hand, if we are taking the green vegetables, that will going to be either half cooked or fully cooked. Now what happens is, in case of the ruminants, there is a proper process called rumination, where it is observed that the animal will going to consume the food in a quickly, and ultimately will going to make a small cud of the food that it has taken. Now what will happen, the cud will going to come out to the mouth again in small lumps, and the animal will going to chew it further fully. Now what happens is that, what is the factor over here, that in case of digestive system of these grass eating animals, they have additional microorganisms which are called as methanogens, which are working on the digestion of cellulose inside the animal body. As our body is lacking this particular microorganism. That is why if we want to have raw materials, it has to be comparatively less in number or quantity, or should be in less portions. On the other hand, if we are taking the pure green vegetables, then it has to be either half cooked or fully cooked. So that is what is the aspect of digestion in case of grass eating animals, and the rumen is basically the structure which is making it possible for these kind of organisms. Now we have the nutrition in case of amoeba, which is a microscopic single cellular organism. That means it is very small in size. If we want to observe the structure, we have to use the microscope, and it is single celled, means it is going to be a one cell structure. On the other hand, it is a irregular structured organism, means the body shape and the size are not going to be fixed, and it will going to live most of the times in the water. It has a proper cell membrane, a dense internal round nucleus, and in between the nucleus and cell membrane it has the cytoplasm inside it. Now, along with this particular structure, they have many different set of vacuoles which are acting as different set of chambers or sacs, depending on that how they are acting, what they are storing inside it. Like if it is storing the food, it will be considered as food vacuole. If it is storing the waste, it will be considered as waste vacuole. If it is storing the water, it will be considered as water vacuole. Now, how exactly the amoeba will going to take the food from the environment? It is done with the help of pseudopodia. These are actually false feet, means pseudo means false, podia means the feet or the legs. So what exactly happens is these are simply extensions of the cell membrane, and these are temporary extensions. That is why they are considered as pseudo, and ultimately these finger like structures will going to make a round, or you can say a covering around the food particle which the organism is sensing as its food, ultimately making a small vacuole around it. Now what happens is, once this vacuole is made by the cellular structure or the cell membrane of the amoeba, what will happen, that this particular vacuole will be considered as food vacuole because it is carrying the food for amoeba. Now this particular food vacuole will going to digest the food and will going to be absorbed by the whole body, will going to get diffused into the body, and ultimately the waste will going to be expelled out in the similar manner by making small outgrowth from the cell membrane and releasing it into the atmosphere. So that is how the nutrition in case of amoeba is there. Now we have observed that different set of organisms have their specific kind of way of taking up the nutrition and fulfilling the requirement of food in the body. But there are certain common things, that is, like if we talk about all the animals, we will see that there is a process of digestion, there is a process of ingestion, then the process of assimilation after digestion, and then removal of waste as well. So on the whole, we have learned about the different set of organisms, that how they consume their food, how they actually act, how their body structures, and everything is taken care of. So in the next session we will going to take up a new topic. Till then, keep learning and take care.